Hello, Bashar, my name.
Statement from you.
Can you start that?
Hello everyone and welcome to another Tinfoil stream. How's everyone doing? Hope you're having a wonderful weekend so far. Today we're going to be looking at all new tinfoil. I've not prepared anything intentionally. We're going to basically, you guys are going to give me ideas for what to search and we're going to go searching for tinfoil. This is basically what I do anyway when it's time to find some new foil, but I thought it might be fun. I do this occasionally to do it with you guys and kind of stumble across new strange things together. So that's pretty much the plan for today. 2.5 hours or so of just hanging out, finding weird stuff. Should be good. A little more chill than the normal tinfoil because there's not predetermined structure. We can still play bingo, of course, if you'd like, so you can get your bingo cards ready. Hey, Just a Peach, how's it going? Bummel Homestead, thanks for 58 months, says, thanks for stream while I'm sorting it in the office. No problem. Thanks for watching. No, there's a lot of stuff on the internet, so I appreciate you listening to me. Mayo Emery's of Caldera, thanks for 36 months, says, it's my 3rd anniversary, time for some delicious tinfoil. And that's a baby, too. This stream baby's name is going to be Carl Carlson. Carl Carlson. A little redundant, but it's fine. Mr. Blast, thanks for gifting a sub and kicking off a hype train. If you want to help the stream, if you want to help the hype train, bits, subscriptions, and gift subs all help. So that would be great. Other than that, we can jump into it. If you're on YouTube, do me a favor and like the stream. It's just a thumbs up. It only takes a second. Tap of the finger, click of the mouse, and it helps out the stream a lot. So please do it. So without further ado, let's get into it. If you have any suggestions of what you'd like me to search, let me know. It's going to be a little ADHD because, you know, not every video is going to be a winner. We'll bounce between stuff, maybe find some good stuff, maybe be disappointed. It's like a grab bag from the dollar store when you were 10 years old. Maybe you'll get lucky and get a Robert cop. Who knows? So anyway, here's someone I just in waiting for the stream to start. He's another one of these channeling guys. So let's try and find this out.
Thank you, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
My question is about physical health and...
I wish he'd show his face. The channeling is so much funnier when they show their face. Let me see, do they have one where they show their face, or is it always this?
Even though I might neutrally...
What about his most popular videos? Are those all still like this? Lame. Alright, I'll do one anyway and let's see what it's like.
And?
I'll say it like this. I know myself to not be the physical body or the physical world, ultimately, in my essence. And yet, despite the fact that I feel like my vibration and my sense of well-being is higher than it's ever been,
yes.
I notice that I continue to manifest chronic illness within my body on my skin.
All right. And
Okay, so he's basically saying, I'm doing all this woo-woo stuff, I feel spiritually enlightened, internally I feel better, why isn't it healing my skin condition? Whatever it might be, maybe he has eczema. Don't know, don't care. The point is, he's been told by these gurus, oh, hey, if you get your internal state spiritually aligned into a higher vibrational state, it'll cure your bodily illnesses. That's word salad nonsense, of course, so it doesn't happen. And he's asking, what's up with that? Why isn't the thing you're saying would happen happening to me? Surely I must be doing something wrong. You wouldn't lie to me, would you?
therefore, since, as you say, you know that you're operating on a higher vibration,
He knows
the
it.
first assumption would be,
How does he know it? He feels it.
how does this experience serve me? Because it must be serving me for a positive reason, even though I may
Oh, what a fucker. Oh, your skin illness that I implied or outright said wasn't healed? It must be because this is a lesson for you. Your chronic illness is clearly a lesson by the universe, and you're benefiting. I hate this. I hate this stuff. Especially when it applies to people with, like, chronic pain or chronic illness. It is so disgusting to basically say that thing that makes your life full of suffering and hardship. Yeah, what if we just say that, like, the universe wants that to happen and it's actually a good thing? Feels so dismissive of the pain of other people. Sucks.
not be aware of
Minute left on the hype train, 93% to level 1.
what that is, because it must be the result of me operating on a higher vibration, which means by operating on a higher vibration, I must be able to handle whatever it is this experience has to teach me. So what are you learning from having
Suffering does not inherently come with some profound lesson. Often, maybe most of the time, suffering just is. So please stop valorizing it. I'd appreciate it.
this experience? How is it serving you to have this experience? What are you getting out of beneficially having this experience? Or what do you believe you might need to have this experience for? If you can answer any of
30
those,
seconds on the hype train.
you will be starting on the path to understanding why you may be manifesting this, because it can't be a contradiction to your vibration. It has to be the result of your vibration for a positive reason. Yes?
Right. And there are many
Right, he says.
amazing lessons that I've learned from having the skin catalyst. It's taken me down the most metaphysical, beautiful path of deepening in my self-realization.
All
and
right, so
empowerment.
that can be
Dostoevsky disagrees with my suffering opinion. Okay.
one reason why you manifested this, yes?
Certainly.
Now, here's another question. Do you believe that there might be another way in which you can learn the same lessons without necessarily needing to manifest it this way or prompt yourself with this particular experience?
Yes.
And in your imagination, what might another way be that you would be willing to learn the same lessons without doing it this way?
What if there are no lessons, though? Are you just fucked? Overthought with 100 bits says, like saying when life gives you lemons to someone dying of thirst, you still need water to make lemonade, you know, the thing the person is dying without.
Well, I feel like the path that this catalyst has taken me on is so firmly rooted in terms of my desire to explore my self-realization on deeper levels.
Yes.
And so I feel like at this point, even if the skin catalyst were to leave, I would continue down the same.
I understand that fundamentally, but I am asking you, in what other ways do you believe you would be able to give yourself the impetus to do so if you didn't have that particular signal anymore? What signal would get you to continue to explore those things?
I feel like at this point, I wouldn't need a signal. Perhaps that's a limited perspective, but
He's, again, tiptoeing around this idea. I don't think I'm learning anything from this. I don't think there's any experience. Like, if there's a lesson to be learned from my pain, I've learned it. I've felt the pain. Can it please stop now?
All right.
but I do feel like regardless of what happens,
The way they use words annoy me. The way everyone uses words annoy me. Can we all agree to stop talking forever? Let's go back to, like, grunts. And maybe, like, occasional whines. I think that would be great. I think talking has caused a lot of problems in this world. No more talking! How am I? I'm alright. How are you, Caspel?
skin catalyst or not, I'm not going to abandon my spiritual path, you could say. I'm not going to stop.
All right. So in a sense, you are saying you have a preference not to necessarily experience it this way anymore, but if it did continue, You wouldn't necessarily invalidate it, would you?
Correct.
All right. So in a sense, you're saying it doesn't really matter whether it continues or not. It's what you do with it. If it
I'll never fear you, Cassifel. You're my friend. Benekagami says, I would like to offer a correction to something I said the other day. Project 2025 is a bad plan if your goal is to maintain power and control, as it destroys the structure to do so as well as the goodwill of the people. However, if your goal is to inflict misery on everyone through malice and hatred, it's a great plan. The people behind Project 2025 think their goal is the former, but in reality it's the latter. Fascists do this all the time, including themselves into what they're doing. Yeah, that's kind of the primary feature of fascism. It's a large level of delusion in order to compensate for some fucked up stuff going inside their heads.
continues or not. Yes?
My preference is that it would not continue, but
But is it a preference, or are you making it conditional? That it...
Okay, fuck this. I wish he was on camera, because I think it would be more interesting if he was on camera. I think that really adds to it, but instead he just puts generic B-roll of planets over it, and I think it really takes away from the experience. So I'm gonna move on from him. He is an asshole, though, as you would imagine. Let's see what else we have for channeling. It's him again. Channeling Von den Star Seeds. Oh, it's another language. German. I don't speak German. That won't help. This is YouTube, too. I also pulled up Rumble and BitChute for us to take a look at, potentially. How about this one? I think this guy has DVDs in the background. That's pretty based. Have I seen the Growing Earth Conspiracy? I've heard of it. People who think that the Earth is inflating. Pretty rare one.
Greetings to you, blessed beings of light.
Okay, this is promising. Just a peach with $1 says, I could care less. He. You fucker.
We are honored by your attention and hope these messages resonate with you. Today we wish to urge you to enjoy yourself.
That's like a pretty benign message for one of these people. It's not woo-woo. It's basically, you know, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes. That's pretty good.
It seems a simple message, but many people do not plan well enough for that recreational time. The time to create, to explore one's own energies in a playful way, to draw, write, paint, create in by singing or
He's
creating
stoned. Yeah.
something with your hands.
I think this guy's just very, very high.
And if not, taking time in meditation to see what you can create there.
Or his particular delusion is just not particularly
Being at
negative.
your best requires releasing those energies and involving yourself in the things which you love. Especially the things which you do physically for your...
I'm gonna be honest, so much of the conspiracy we take a look at is full of people who have really negative and, like, malignant delusions. It's kind of nice seeing one that's just like, hey, just, like, have some hobbies, man. Maybe go paint. Isn't that nice? I forget that, like, insanity doesn't inherently have to be fascistic or negative. It can be benign, or even just kind of woo-woo. Now, there's problems in these things as well. Detachment from reality is never good. Even if you think the aliens are telling you to paint, you still think you're talking to aliens, which, you know, isn't true. But at least it's not, like, incredibly destructive. to your sense of being?
Reality isn't reality of action. So doing things that you make with your hands, woodworking, sewing, those types of things, along with the other ones we mentioned.
Woodworking is fun. I don't know if you've ever done woodworking. Nice. The importance of sunshine, all that values you so much, keeps you forever. Yeah, he seems like he just... Again, you might think he's talking to aliens, but at least the aliens or whatever he thinks he's talking to are nice. Oh, my bar is so low. Let's see, Cassifel sent a few things. I think we've seen this growing earth thing.
We come to the earth, which, well, grew to get here, the way it is now.
Yeah, we've seen this, and I think also the music got me in trouble last time on YouTube, so I definitely can't play that. The conspiracy cult thing I've watched before. We've covered Yakub. Also, it's like someone else's video. I don't like to cover other people's video when they're already commenting on something. Let's see. What's this one?
What we're learning now is how to take charge of it in a loving way, but in an intelligent way. It isn't intelligent anymore with the drama that we're in to surrender your power to channel. I'm not against channels, but however, do you know that when you're channeling, something else is merging with your DNA template and your shields? The only thing that can channel
It's word salad on the bingo card for sure.
through you that will not cause harm to your shields is your own soul, oversoul, avatar, rishi, or ascendant master level. Anybody else has a different mathematical coding, and as soon as they come into your body, they change the mathematical coding in your template. Now, even if they're nice, and somebody out there wants to channel through you in contact, you have to be crazy or unaware to let them do that. What's interesting is there are a lot of beings in the middle dimensional fields that don't understand Templar mechanics either.
Okay, this lady's pretty good. What do we have on the bingo card? There was something she just did. Dimensions beyond her own, that's for sure.
Not all of them mean to cause harm. They'll come in and channel and not realize they're doing damage to the templates of the person they're with and to their own. Then you have the ones that are like the Weesadeks and the Palladians, which are part of the Palladian, Nibiru, and Anunnaki crew from Phantom Matrix. Whole bunch of them.
Phantom Matrix, that's a new one. Is that like the Phantom Zone? But like, they built a city in there, and Keanu Reeves hangs out.
Just about every voice that's channeled on the planet right now, even the angels, especially the archangel.
Oh! Wow, this is a lot. Okay.
The fineness or the refinement of the matter type changes as you go up into the ones that can't fall. There is a refinement to the energy and the consciousness there that you don't find in the one, in the lower systems, even the best of the lower systems. So that, I think that's how I would answer your question.
Okay, and if you get the light beings that manifest here, that are really manifesting, in other words, they really are light beings, what level are they coming from?
It depends.
Could be anyone. From what level up?
There's an old saying that light can deceive, but sound tells the truth.
Who says that? I've literally never heard anyone say that. Also, that's interesting considering auditory hallucinations are much more common than visual hallucinations with things like schizophrenia or any kind of like schizotypal disorder that causes you to have delusions or hallucinations rather. So kind of interesting that she would put emphasis on audio telling the truth when that is, again, the most common form of hallucination with delusional or hallucinatory disorders. Sorry, I keep misspeaking. Hey Trey, how's it going?
Right now, they're about the most dangerous people on the planet because they're doing it without knowing their anatomy, their dimensional structure, or their Maharic seal. Now, I've had a few, it's really interesting. I've met very many psychics who were told, I'm terrible. Guess who? Well, Katumi did one, Al Mourier did another. These were what they were channeling. Of course these guys are going to say I'm terrible. I'm busting their game. I'm part of a team here that's exposing their lies and showing people how to not get suckered in and Metatronicked. So you go to a psychic. How do you know?
They're getting suckered into being Metatronic? I'm familiar with the concept of the Metatron. I guess I don't understand what she means by Metatronic. Just in alignment with the Metatron?
Who that psychic's in communication with. How do you know somebody, even if she doesn't think anybody's guiding her, how do you know that she knows for sure? If she doesn't know her anatomy, she doesn't know her Maharic seal. I mean, think about it. I'm going to go into, I'm going to ask us to go into the first things. I'll probably have to wake you up when you get done, because I know it's...
I'm a little concerned. This lady actually sounds kind of manic in some of these. I don't think she's just a grifter. I mean, she's probably making a little bit of money off of this because she seems to be doing talks at conferences and stuff. So she may have written a book or something. And wow, some of these videos look like they go back to like the 90s. So she's probably been on this like channeling circuit for a while. But I think she actually believes the things she's saying, just based on this very cursory glance at her material. I think she actually probably believes some of this stuff. I will save her to my folder. Interesting. She's got enough videos. I might be able to find some of her conferences at some point. Seems decent. Channeling cosmic wisdom.
Have you ever felt like there is more to life than what you see?
You think you put enough reverb on that? Jesus. Cassifel says, I hear you say it all the time. Just the other day you were like, you know what I'm always say? Cassifel, you dumb bitch, light can deceive, but sound reveals. You then ran away on your hands and feet, scuttling under a bridge like a beetle. You laughed the whole time, an echoing noise which was able to kill 3 birds whom fell from the sky as you left. Oh yeah, I remember that. That was fun. Took a while to get the dirt under my nails out, but I do like to scuttle.
Like there is a quiet whisper in your heart calling you to something greater. That's not your imagination. It is your soul awakening. Right now, you stand on the threshold of a journey that will transform you.
They forgot to soundproof the UFO. That's why it's that echoey. It's very smooth inside, eerily so. You gotta put up the foam. They forgot the foam. Channeling Ryusei Shido energy. Is that an anime character? Looks like an anime character.
So I got tagged in a Goodreads review for my upcoming YA fantasy novel, and I see this.
Metatron, isn't that the Romaboo YouTuber that can't stop being accused of being racist because he can't help but make 20 videos on how brown people weren't Romans, or brown people being depicted in history shows in places they actually existed? I have no idea. I'm not even keeping up with those people anymore. I don't care. Chuds are gonna chud. Don't care. Don't care.
And it hits me. Did I write?
I told you guys, I'm disassociating for minimum 4 years. I'm not here right now. Call back in 4 years, and I'll check and see if it's time to come and reassociate.
What made you think that I would ever?
Like, did I write a Hermione related?
Oh, that's in her video.
Beat her into your heart for fuck's
I did.
That's completely unlistenable. What are you doing, girl? Jesus fucking Christ.
G'day. Any form of magic, sorcery or witchcraft that anyone's involved in any other kind of type thing like voodoo / whatever, all of it, totally demonic, bro. And if you're in it, I'd advise you to get out of it and seek God. Hallelujah. G'day. Any
Australian and boring. Planet ET plan channeling from off-planet intelligence US from another time and place. Okay.
Hey.
Oh yeah, this camera angle's promising.
It is 10:41 in the morning on February the 22nd, so 2/22. And I woke up this morning
around 10 or 9:45 maybe. And I sat up and my eyes are really dry and so is my mouth. But sometimes my eyes are dry because of the heat in the flesh around them from getting hit by direct energy weapons. I did
Schizophrenia. This is schizophrenia. She's not showing her face, which is good. I try not to show people's faces in particular when they're clearly suffering from severe mental illnesses, but usually if people think they're being attacked with, like, direct energy weapons and stuff like that, they have some physical condition that, we've seen this before. There was a guy we covered a few times who had a bunch of pain in his teeth, and he was claiming that the government had a satellite that was, like, shooting lasers at his teeth. Now, he probably had actual dental problems. His teeth looked like they were in bad shape. I don't know if drugs were involved or if it was a particular care issue. But the thing about paranoia, when it comes to something like schizophrenia or some other sort of delusional disorder, is you will react to actual stimuli and attribute it to non-existent sources. So he has tooth pain, or whatever, limb pain. I think he talked about joint pain occasionally. He's, getting up there. He's in his, 50s or whatever. His health didn't appear to be in particularly good shape. But they take these real physical stimuli, like, ow, my tooth hurts, ow, my joints hurt, and they immediately attribute to it a malicious, secretive force. So in this case, that guy, and it seems this woman, believes it to be the work of nefarious governmental entities shooting them with direct energy weapons. And this is, by the way, when politicians and other misinformation spreaders spread the kind of stuff about, like, oh, secret space lasers and stuff. It might just seem like, oh, they're just trying to get headlines, or they're just idiots, or they're just trying to grift people. A lot of the time that's true, but I don't think it should be missed that this stuff falls on the ears of very delusional people. And I'm not saying that this causes their delusion. It doesn't. The delusions have existed throughout time. People have mental illnesses. It happens. But it does flavor them. It does form the shape of the delusion. So when stuff spreads like, oh, lasers are from the government are secretly doing this or that forms, the shape of different people's delusions. So we should all be very careful for the things we say, as not to stoke the paranoia of those already suffering. Moira Soma, thanks for gifting a sub to Spokane Dogman, and MH Darkbeast, thanks for a 3-stream streak. Says, hey Hannah, this woman has a lot of crazy stuff. Thank you, I'll take a look at this in a little bit. Oh wait, how to protect your children from the woke agenda. I'm not doing Chud Watch. Not doing Chud Watch. Although if she's doing also tinfoil stuff, maybe, but, like, I don't want to do Chud Watch at fucking all. Life is already a fucking nightmare. I don't need this shit.
I did feel like I was hit. I felt like I was hit with some beam that maybe isn't as strong as some of the nights are, but still pretty damn strong. And the frequency in my ears of tinnitus, which is what I developed like a month ago from this shit, is a higher pitch. So I sit up and processing out loud is normal. You can Google it if you want. And so I decided to process out loud a question that I had last night because there's a lot of there's a lot of pain. Well, maybe that's actually a Freudian slip in both of my legs, right? And so I had Googled. So I went to check how, if I were tapped into claircognizance, it's almost 10:44 here, it's 10:43. And I asked, what is a random question about the universe is what I Googled. And the question that popped up was an AI Google overview. If the universe is constantly expanding, what is happening to the space between galaxies? And is there a theoretical limit to how far apart galaxies can be from each other? And so I just tried to feel into that. I don't know much about astrophysics at all.
Feel into it. Again, I think this, to be clear, I'm not making any fun of anyone's illness. I find it interesting how delusions form and the kind of thinking within delusions has Similar structure. When she talks about feeling into things, this idea that you have some sort of intuition that you can tap into that holds all the secrets of the universe, even if not in those explicit terms. You basically feel that your intuition is the best tool to determine facts. That's a pretty common facet of conspiratorial thinking at large, is that analytical thinking is bullshit and a trick that they play on you to try and make you think about stuff, when in reality, real answers come from within, come from vibes, come from feeling certain ways. So yeah, not uncommon, the way that she's going about this.
And I just went with a visual in my mind. And so I just pictured the universe. Okay, I had it paused for a while, so I don't know where I left off at. But basically, I went to go look up, I went to review the question I asked myself last night when I was testing out the claircognizance. I really don't know what I said in those first 2 minutes because it was just now paused the whole time, 2:22 on the clock, and I thought it was recording. So I'm just going to go over it as if in case, that I'm just going to go over everything in case I didn't already. That I'm making the video in order to share, right? So, as Pythia in ancient Greece at the Temple of Delphi as an oracle, I had sat over a vent, a crack in the earth where a geological crack where a gas would emit, and I would
Do you believe she remembers past lives? Reincarnation on the bingo card?
on a stool over that and I'd inhale those gases and they'd put me into altered states of consciousness, and from those altered states of consciousness I would channel off-planet intelligences, right? Back then we called it the sky gods, and typically Pythia was thought to be communicating with
aliens. Did it on the bingo card. She's attributing the Greek myths of the gods to aliens.
Apollo. All right, so yeah. And what happened with that is
funny, I didn't think about it when we did the bingo card, but we're accidentally charting some of the most common features of delusions in America for conspiracy theories. Whoops.
we get delirious eventually, right? From the gases.
I just wanted to play bingo, man!
Damage? I'm not sure. All right. And so she was then sacrificed, and they would get another Pythia, because Pythia is just the name of the position, right? And in this life, I chose as Pythia again reincarnated to give guidance.
Okay, we can move on. I'm not gonna save her or cover her in the future, because again, it seems like she's suffering from some kind of illness, and I hope she's able to get help. But I do find it interesting, pretty typical structure to the way that she's talking and thinking about these particular delusions. Okay, how about some Bigfoot stuff? I don't usually look at Bigfoot stuff.
Family of Bigfoots.
It's usually pretty harmless, so... yeah, vibes-based conspiracy on the bingo card. H. Dark Beast says, here you go, Hannah, lots of crazy cuckoo pants.
I have schizophrenia, and these are my top 10 delusions. Number 1.
Okay, she's talking about it openly, so that's fine.
I think that there are hidden cameras in mirrors. Number 2, I often feel like I'm being followed. Number 3, sometimes I believe that I am somewhere else in a coma. Number 4 is thought broadcasting, where I think that other people can hear my thoughts or that I can hear other people's thoughts. Number 5 is sometimes I believe that other people are attracted to me. Number 6 is somatic delusions, where I think that bodily functions of mine are so different or weird or not the norm. Number 7 is when I believe that I don't actually have schizophrenia. Number 8 is when I'm looking
for... that's one of the reasons it's difficult to get people to take their meds sometimes, as she was illustrating with the throwing it away, of course. That sucks.
Connections and things that maybe aren't interconnected at all. Number 9 is when I believe that my partner is cheating on me. And number 10 is when I believe that everything is a simulation that we're all living in. I have schizophrenia and these...
Woof. That's not fun. Alright, back to the Bigfoot thing.
Spotted on the shore of Soldiers Meadow Reservoir.
Get a link to that? Sure. Pull it back up. Here you go. Sorry, I still need to get you a pamphlet, like a Sov-Sit pamphlet. Jesus, I'm so bad at everything. My life is holding together with like paper clips and twine, weird weird ties that don't make sense. Ugh.
Reservoir, several Sasquatch scare cattle near Lake Shore. Jim writes RMSO. I had an encounter in 1973. We had a cabin on Soldiers Meadow Lake. It's 28 miles south of my home in Lewiston, Idaho. At the time, there was only our place and a Forest Service cabin on the other side of the lake. We were up for the weekend hunting.
Watching government is so fun right now. I didn't even understand how you would, like, I remember back in, like, high school how they'd teach stuff about, like, oh, the checks and balances, or middle school even, you know? How do you explain this now? Like, hey, here's how the checks and balances of our government are supposed to work in theory. Do you then explain, like, but here's the thing, none of this matters, and it's apparently never mattered. Nope, shut up, disassociate, stop it.
Cabin faces the lake. It was early morning and snow on the ground. I had to go to the bathroom, so I got up to go. We had an outhouse behind the cabin, and I didn't want to walk back to it, so I just peed off the porch. There were around 8 cows watering at the lake. They started running towards me.
Was the fact that you were urinating during this story a key component to it? I think you could have just said you were out there. I don't think we needed to know you were peeing.
Out of the tree line, about maybe 100 yards away, comes a small one.
You know, I've been very into Weimar cinema recently. No particular reason.
Then a large one, then a larger one. 3 total. The little one went down and was splashing in the water, while the other 2 were standing and watching. I couldn't believe it. I went into the cabin and got my 30-06, rested it on the porch rail, and watched them through the scope for minutes. When the little one was done splashing around, they all went back into the trees and were gone.
Are these all AI-generated images? Yeah, this is from 6 hours ago. These are all AI-generated images. AI on the bingo card.
I didn't say anything about it for years. Wish I would have asked my grandpa if he had ever seen anything like that, because he was a game warden here in the Nez Perce County. After seeing that, I always carry some sort of protection, and my sense of surrounding is heightened. We've heard things and smelled things while out in the woods up there, but have only seen a so-called family.
H-Bird said, I saw something wild and rare, so I immediately got ready to kill it. In fairness, he said he was looking through the scope. So I don't think he was implying that he was necessarily intending to kill it, but he was using the scope in order to observe them from far away.
Of whatever's once. RMSO asks, Hi Jim, what color were they? In comparison to the cows, how tall was each creature and how wide was the biggest? Thanks for the report. Jim continues, It's been a few years, but the 3 individuals were darker colored than the cows. The little guy, maybe 4 feet tall, the mom was way bigger, and then the dad was about a foot or so taller than her. This all happened across the open lake, so I'm guessing the sizes. They weren't bears because the 2 big ones stood there on 2 legs the whole time they were there, and they walked back into the trees. RMSO adds, Your sighting reminds me of the report we received from near the dwarf.
Okay. Thanks for the Bigfoot report.
Have you ever heard of the Patterson-Gimlin film? This iconic piece of footage, shot in...
Oh, I believe the guy that did the costumes, the, like, ape suits for the original Planet of the Apes movie, came out and admitted that he and his friend hoaxed this, and he used some of the same stuff he used for the Planet of the Apes costumes. So that's fun.
1967 in Bluff Creek, California, is one of the most famous films claiming to capture evidence of Bigfoot. Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin set out to film the elusive creature and, to their amazement, recorded a mysterious, hairy figure walking through the woods. The film sparked intense debate, with many experts analyzing the creature's gait, size, and movements. Skeptics argue that it could be a hoax.
Oh my god, with the fucking AI images, they're everywhere. I can't get away from them. This is just the future.
While enthusiasts assert that the film is genuine evidence of Bigfoot's existence. Despite numerous attempts to debunk...
What I don't even get is there are 10 million photos of Bigfoot. Like, not real ones, but illustrations of Bigfoot. You could just go get those. You could just go get those. I was on a show for years where I literally talked, and over it was different random stock images or generic images of things. You can find images of things on the internet. Stop using AI.
Or authenticate the footage, the mystery endures. What if this film holds the key to unlocking the truth about cryptids lurking in our wilderness? Could the Patterson-Gimlin film forever change our understanding of the natural world? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content.
The conspiracy realist. What an asshole. Oh my god, he changed the name of his channel to Cocktails and Conspiracies. Being drunk probably would make this make more sense. Your understanding is he sold early prop that he alerted to the filmmakers? Okay, I'll have to look into it again. Wonder if he's Ghosts, Shadows, and the Haunting Legacy. Jack the Ripper, one man or a bigger conspiracy? Oh god, I hate the Jack the Ripper
this episode.
Conspiracies. Hydrate.
You can't find who Jack the Ripper is because he or she is not one person.
Those are the 5 most accepted, I guess, that were within Jack the Ripper.
Generally accepted.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so wild, the parallels between the Jack the Ripper saga and the Zodiac, right?
If anybody...
There are too many podcasts. Let's go back in time and kill podcasts. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but I'm tired, boss. I'm real fucking tired. What is this slop? What the fuck are we doing? What the fuck is this? What? The assholes. It's a what even is this? It's a short. What is this supposed to be? What is this? This is for children. Who is dissolving with the orange pants? Moira Soma with 100 bits says, from the profane priestess, the checks and balances separation of powers only works if all, or at least most parties engage with systems in good faith. The GOP has spent 50 years eroding those good faith norms. I read it the first time, I just didn't read it out loud, because everything's depressing. And I don't want to hear about it. Everything's garbage. I'm very entertaining, by the way. Sorry. I ended up not going to the movie club thing today, because I am honestly having a bad day. Ever think you put in too much effort? No. I've never thought that in my life. To do that, I have to put effort in. Okay, let's see what's next. Anunnaki. I looked up Anunnaki. Let's see what we have. Sometime in the next 4 years, you're going to see a nervous breakdown on stream. It's happening. I just don't know what day. So make sure you tune in every day, because you never know when it'll be.
The concept of unlocking the pineal gland has captivated spiritual seekers for centuries. The pineal gland, often referred to as the third eye, is believed to be a center of higher consciousness and
It's only thought that by conspiracy theorists. There's no evidence to that. What does that even mean? Spiritual insight. How do you measure that? How do you measure that? You can't.
Spiritual insight. While many believe this gland holds the key to enlightenment, it's often shrouded in mystery, particularly when it comes to the...
It's okay. The grippy sock vacation will be great. I have insurance now, so if I need a grippy sock vacation, be okay. H-Beard says, if you've ever played the Total War series of games, turn-based empire building strategy, there are usually victory conditions that'll make you have to randomly declare war against close allies, and there's usually a maximum year they go to, so in the last 10 turns or so, you have to just randomly do weird things to get the win. No idea why I've been thinking about that recently. Dillis Filler says, you measure spiritual insight in woe-mans per minute. See, that's subjective, because if you put THC in people, the woe-mans per minute are going to go up exponentially.
Illuminati and their secret
Illuminati on the bingo card.
teachings. Some speculate that the Illuminati possesses ancient knowledge on how to activate the pineal gland, potentially using esoteric practices derived from the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki, with their advanced understanding of the universe, are said to have known the importance of the pineal gland.
Special gland talk reminds you of the 1980s movie From Beyond. That movie's great. I have that one. This is my 4K copy of Stuart Gordon's From Beyond. It's incredible. It's a great movie. I love it, and you should watch it. Yes, Hannah mentions Blu-rays on the bingo card before anyone says. Really would recommend From Beyond. Excellent movie. Dr. Edward Pretorius. Someone name where that's a reference to! Why is the whatever. Anyway, it is a bitchin' movie.
Long before it was understood in modern times. Ancient civilizations influenced by the Anunnaki may have passed down techniques for unlocking the gland's potential. These techniques could involve meditation, sound frequencies, or specific rituals designed to awaken the spiritual powers dormant within the pineal gland.
Alright then. Is this just a clip from the Cabbage Baby guy? No. What? Why was that wolf talking? Furries, answer for this man. Furries, answer for it.
These humans are the real animals.
Oh God!
I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow their house down.
Okay, I'm intrigued so far. He's so cool, guys. Look at all these AI wolves he made. Get it? Because he's not a sheep. He's a wolf. You goddamn sheeple. Oh, and we made creepy AI fakey video of some Shaolin-type monks sword training on a roof in New Donk City. Oh. Yeah! Feed me the slop! Feed me that slop! Feed me that slop! Yummy, yummy, internet! Thank you for the slop! Is that a Wu-Tang clip in the background? Oh, that'll be good then. I'm sure that'll be good for my YouTube. That was just the intro! His intro is 1.5 minutes long! That's way too long for an intro. Jesus Christ.
You might have seen this. You'll see the web, I guess the site or the web page or whatever. For those who haven't seen it, this is more to show you that this is not made up. I've been saying it for a long time about the Cabbage Patch, the reset, da 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 da. So make of it whatever you want.
People ask me why their grandparents or great-grandparents never talked about the reset. Why don't they remember anything about it? Well, let me try to explain it. First, there were the Cabbage Patch Babies. Now, these weren't just toys, you see. They became a symbol of something much bigger.
Okay, it's the Cabbage Conspiracy, but the clip he's using isn't from the Cabbage Man.
Massive repopulation effort after the reset. These babies, they weren't born the usual way. They were produced almost mechanically in large numbers and distributed through a cold, efficient system. Strange, isn't it? Brings to mind ideas like cloning, doesn't it? And maybe that's why
clones on the bingo card.
Today you see so many folks who just seem to go with the flow. No questions, no thinking. Did you know they say nearly half the population doesn't even have an internal monologue?
Here it is again. I've seen that statistic bandied about in order to justify unpersoning people that don't agree with them. Scary shit. The NPC rhetoric, the people are fake, like, this rhetoric is going all over the place in conspiracy and right-wing circles, and I'm telling you, no one listens to me, but I'm telling you, not good. Once again, directly depersoning people who you disagree with is like the step towards doing away with people you disagree with, because it's a lot easier when you don't think they're people anymore.
Imagine that, living life with a quiet mind, just following along. Those babies, those orphan trains, they were shipped off along with abandoned children who had survived the reset, taken from...
No, orphan trains were a thing when there were a surplus of orphans in cities, so they would then take them to more rural areas where they have a better chance of being adopted and taken in by, like, families that couldn't have their own kids or wanted to take in kids. Phyllis Filler says, Captain, the AI slop has compromised the structural integrity field. No kidding. Orphan trains were a thing, but not the way that they are describing. Again, like I said, it was basically taking orphans from, like, city areas to, more rural areas around the country that they could be adopted. That was a thing, but not the way they are describing, as if it was a secret conspiracy and that these children were grown or something.
From their families, sent to faraway...
If you like the stream, by the way, consider gifting subs or becoming a subscriber. Sorry, I'm having so much trouble talking today. I'd really appreciate it. Behind on subs for the month, so if you like the show and watch it regularly, consider helping the show continue.
lands. Many ended up in America. And when they got there, they were given a new story, the official version of history. No elders left to tell them the truth. Nobody to remember how things used to be.
Again, these are all AI images. I am seeing AI images constantly in conspiracy theories these days, which isn't good. Conspiracy theorists are already bad at telling when things are real and not. So while you and I look at this and obviously go, oh, that's AI slop, like you can tell 17 different ways immediately how this is not real, conspiracy theorists don't. They see stuff like this and go, oh, that's real. I wonder what that picture's from. They are not easily able to discern real from fake. If they were adept at that skill, they wouldn't be conspiracy theorists.
It made them easier to control, you see. Easier to accept the new narrative.
Fucking Mothman. Try this one.
Hey everybody, what's up? This is Chad Warren. I want to welcome you to RebelRenaissanceRadio.com, and I want to focus on the topic of Tartaria because I heard...
Just a Peach with $1 says, how would this even work? Why do kids continue to dead? We are about to see arise the death of parents? How did I meet people before 1900 when I was young? Are you saying you were born... Oh, no, I see what you're saying. You knew people before 1900. Again, you're thinking about it too much. You're thinking about it more than they are, I promise. That's the problem.
About it, not heard about it.
A lot of conspiracy theories, I've described this, are like magic eye paintings. You gotta kind of relax your brain. If you focus in on it and think about it, it doesn't make sense. You just kind of have to let your brain unfocus and just look at the ideas very fuzzily as broad, sort of generic concepts that have vague edges. Don't start questioning and trying to falsify claims. The minute you do, the conspiracy falls apart. That's not how these people are viewing these things. I mean, obviously you should take a look at these things and try and falsify them. But what I'm saying is, conspiracy theorists don't do that. That's why they believe these things. They're not focusing on the details. It's about the emotional gratification. It's about these beliefs that are bolstered by the conspiracies. Is that inner monologue thing even true? It's based on a real study. Yeah, a lot of people do not have internal monologues. That doesn't mean they're not thinking. It means that they don't think in dialogue. For instance, I'm the opposite. I've talked about this before. I can't really picture things in my head. So everything in my head is words or just feelings, right? But other people have the opposite. They don't think in words at all. They think entirely in pictures or vague concepts.
Just heard it recently in this podcast, and I'm hearing it discussed in a different way than I'm familiar with, so I want to get your help to see what you know about this, or if you had a similar reaction to me. Okay, so this is the Meta Mindcast podcast with Robbie Marks. This is his appearance on the Occult Rejects. That's with Nick and the spiritual gangsters. I forget her name. I apologize.
Vetoed. Boring. There's a channel called Tartarian Explorer.
Yes, we're safe. Saying something about safety here. Okay. We are live here in Saratoga Springs. Unfortunately, my mic is not working. I think my port on my phone needs to be cleaned out. So, to connect the mic, but hopefully you can hear me. So this is the armory. I'm gonna assume that this is done by Isaac Perry. He's attributed to many of these.
Windsock. Get a windsock. If you're recording, here's a fun fact. You're recording something with your phone, which if you're gonna professionally or even like as a hobby do streaming or video recording, if you're gonna use your phone, usually phones are pretty good for video these days and pictures. Audio, not so much. So it's good to get like a Bluetooth or plug-in if your phone still has a plug-in thing, microphone. But if you don't, if you're gonna go outside, do me a favor. Wherever the microphone is on your phone, especially if it's windy outside, you take a sock like this. Literally just a sock, like one you wear on your goddamn feet. There you go. And you put it over where the microphone on your phone is. There's a reason they call stuff like these wind socks. You get it? It'll help prevent excess air getting into the microphone from the fucking wind. It looks stupid, but you already have socks, I would think. So just do it.
Like 90% sure that it's Isaac Perry that attributed to these armories. There's one in
completely ununderstandable. Incomprehensible. Better word.
We're gonna get up close and look at this. It's pretty icy here. Just look at the size of it. Wow. Try to keep the camera steady. All right. Snowy Friday.
Is he looking for like basement windows that he can call Tartarian? Okay, he's gonna look at this.
If you watch my channel, I featured this on a New York compilation video. But it's always fun to take another look. Thanks for the likes.
Cool building. And for those that don't know what this guy believes in Tartaria, which is a conspiracy theory in which they will look at neoclassical architecture or like buildings that are primarily brick on the outside. And they believe that these buildings, we didn't build them. We as in the collective current civilization. So, going back 100 or 200 years in the United States. I don't know what the oldest structure in the United States is. But they believe that they were built thousands of years ago by a secret society, by a secret empire called Tartaria. So he basically thinks this building is secretly, like, thousands of years old. It's not. This building looks relatively recent, in fact. This looks like it was probably built in at least the last 30 years by my eye. I'm not an architect, though, so don't quote me on that. But to me, it's reading last 30 years. Maybe 40, I don't know. But he thinks it's thousands of years old.
So, like I said, Isaac Perry is attributed to this building, and I'll be going to some other armories. So if you stay tuned this week or next week, I'll be going to more armories that are just like this.
Yeah, Tartaria on bingo. See, someone is saying 1900, but you see the, you guys can see my mouse, right? I think you can. Let me get to the point where I think you can. If you can, these things up here on the roof read to me as later than the 1900s, but I could be wrong.
This is just really impressive.
Might be an old prison building or police station, 1920s restored. Okay, the tower to me looks later, but again, I don't know. I'm not a fucking architect. I don't know shit.
Like a turret castle. There's a mortar cannon out front.
Either way, we can agree it's not thousands of years old. Yeah, it might be the facade. You're right. It might be the facade changed. Maybe I'm just totally wrong. I do not know.
Model 1861, 13-inch Seacoast mortar.
That's actually pretty cool. Look at the thickness of the walls on that thing. I wonder how much explosive you could put in that and fire shit off. That's crazy.
From Pittsburgh. Okay. Huh.
Cool looking building. Like, I'll give you that.
Well.
Yeah, see, like, the doors and stuff. They must have refitted this at some point, because that's a very nice... I like this combination of kind of like the brick, but with the entrance that's clearly been opened up with the glass here. I think that's a cool look. A little mix of the old, the mix of the newer. I don't know. Did he say 1861? I didn't hear it. I can go back.
Well. Inside's kind of boring, to be honest, but... You see how mud-flooded it is.
Oh, the thing said 1891. There was a plaque on the next to the door that said 1891, so that's probably when the original was built. I was very wrong. Here we go. This is what he's looking for. Okay, so a thing with Tartaria conspiracy theorists is they believe that this stuff was all covered by a mud flood. They basically think there was a big mud slide type thing, and everything got covered with mud, and then they dug out the buildings. But for some reason, they think they didn't dig them out quite all the way. So they'll see stuff like this and go, ah, see? This used to be the real first floor of the building underground here. Because they don't know how some basements work. I don't know if this is a regional thing and people just haven't seen this. I live in Michigan. Basements are common. They build buildings like this. My friend's house growing up had a thing like this where they had a basement, but a little bit was dug out here on the side so they could get natural light in their basement, right? This is a thing. Lots of buildings do this, yeah, or air, you know, so you can open the window downstairs. My house when I grew up was a split level that had a half basement. So about half of the basement was submerged. And there were like windows kind of on the top of the interior walls of the basement, so you could open them again for air, or you could get natural light. The house that I have in Saginaw also has a basement like this, where at the top of the walls there's the windows. This is just how some like lower floors are built, but they don't understand this, so they attribute it to some sort of malicious cover-up. It's interesting.
Foundation goes super deep. We're looking at 1891. Really, even the doors got intricate details. Okay. Wow. And then, to me, this looks very Egyptian. Is that a lion? Sorry, the way my camera is, it's kind of blocking the text, but I think you're talking about the...
What did he say was Egyptian? Did he say that building is Egyptian?
A lion. Sorry, the way my camera is.
Is he thinking that because at the top of the building there's sort of the triangle that makes the top, and that's like with the columns, and what is he talking about? I think he's getting Egyptian from the fact that there's a triangle at the top of the centerpiece of this building. Like, I'm not kidding. I think he thinks triangles equals Egypt. Like, I think that's stupid, but I think that's what he believes.
It's kind of blocking the text, but I think you're talking about there's a lion's head right there. Yeah, I think you're talking about that guy there. It's very impressive. Let me know if that's what you're talking about, but I think there's one on the other side too. So, New York Military Museum now. Yes. And wow. Yeah. If you, like I said, I'll be going to other buildings like this in New York. But if you see how big it is from the side here, and then I don't see another lion on this side. But there's a cool design right there. That's pretty impressive. Okay. I'm not gonna walk through the snow because it's really deep to get, but you can see how.
I think we get the gist of that one. Let's see what else we have. Tartaria PsyOp equals Terraria video game? What? I'm glad you are here, it says. This isn't copyrighted music, is it? Oh, fuck. I think it is. I don't think we can watch this one. Okay, I don't think they talk over most of it anyway. I think it's just one of those that's music over a bunch of photos, which aren't generally fun.
So, I just came across something interesting.
What, this one? Oh no. This says old pictures collection, Tartaria, India. How many of these are going to be AI pictures that they're trying to pass off as real? What's up with this music? Is this going to be a problem for me? Yep. YouTube is fun, isn't it?
Tartaria, so it is Tartaria. I had asked myself the same question at first. What, is it another conspiracy, I thought? No, it was actually showed on ancient maps of the Earth.
Okay, it was shown on maps because that was what some other countries called a specific area of the world. It wasn't an empire. It was just a designation for a part of the world that other people called. But there wasn't really a group of people that were an empire in the way you're describing. Mia Mulder did a whole video about this that's pretty good.
But what is Tartaria? Was it a country, a region, an empire? No, I'd actually say that it is more than that. It is an idea, a name.
I mean, it is an idea. It's just not a correct one?
That was given to this idea. But it's really more of a set of ideas. A set of questions. Who are we? Where are we from? What is the actual history of our cities? Who were our ancestors? How did we manage to build all of these structures? And why is there so much mud from pictures from the 19th century? Why are all the structures built?
Why is there so much mud? My friend, we are on planet Earth. Do you know what Earth is? It's dirt. You know what happens when you add water to dirt? It becomes mud. We're on We're on a mud ball, my friend. It is what our planet is on a lot of the surface of it.
From those pictures, was there some type of earthquake or natural disaster that we don't know about? And how are we advancing so quickly? And all those questions.
As you get higher up on the tech tree, it gets easier to develop new technologies. If you have a car or a train, it's easier to get information from one place or another, or people from one place or another. If you have power tools, you're quicker to build things, which makes things go faster. Computers help people figure out things that would have taken a long time previously. They can do math like fucking that.
Questions make up the theory of Tartaria. Tartaria has many set of theories, and the most known theory is that there was some kind of ancient civilization. The civilization was so advanced that they have built hundreds of pyramids, temples, palaces and skyscrapers, and all the old buildings that we see around us right now, such as the Empire State Building, that have been said to be built in 410 days during the Great Depression. So when you start to think about all these stuff, the theory of Tartaria comes to mind. Now, just take a look at all these photos and tell me what you think. Anyways, hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next time.
Name of this channel is Earth Redemption.
New York City is known to be one of the largest and richest cities in America, if not the largest and the richest. With a population of 8.2 million people and with a GDP of about 1.3 trillion USD. It ranks as the #1 most visited city by tourists in the US. One of the reasons for New York's rise in tourism is the architecture of the buildings that shape the...
We have photos of the building of the Empire State Building. How does that work with this theory? I imagine they'd just say the photos are fake.
Skyline. But what if I told you that New York today isn't what it used to be? I mean, of course, the streets aren't filled with horses and their crap. There are hundreds of large screens, and there are hundreds of skyscrapers that are hundreds of meters tall. But what if I told you that a genocide took place in the city to make New York what it is today? A cultural genocide, as many people call it. I mean, just take a look at all these pictures, all of those great buildings with beautiful...
Oh, here I think he's just actually talking about gentrification. That's fine. Has anyone seen Basket Case? No? Okay. Let's see what else we got. Let's get off the Tartaria thing. Flat Earth, maybe? Maybe we can find some new Flat Earthers?
Dimensionica Radio, news from parallel universes, right now. Welcome to the Flat Earth Dimension. You were sure the world was a sphere. Planes flew across continents. The sun set in a curve, and nobody ever fell off. But now something's changed. The horizon stretches endlessly in all directions, and the sky looks too close, like a painted dome. Compass needles twitch near the edges. Ships vanish at the borders, but not over a curve. They simply stop existing. Congratulations.
What?
You've woken up in the Flat Earth Dimension. This is
They think that ships just disappear? Like they're not going bottom, you know how boats disappear bottom up because of the curve of the Earth? They're just denying that and saying they just vanished, they just poof into nothingness? Oh boy. Do we already get Flat Earth on the bingo card? I don't think so, but we certainly have it now.
World where the conspiracy theorists were right, but that doesn't mean they were prepared. This world has rules, dangers, and secrets. And if you're not careful, you'll learn exactly what happens when someone reaches the edge.
Honestly, this voice quality is so bad, I think he's gonna say, what is it? B-52 bomber, whatever the fuck that was, on, what was that, ColecoVision? Or in television. One of the visions.
Let's keep you alive long enough to find out. Chapter 1. Understanding the Flat Earth Dimension. This isn't just a flat version of Earth. It's something far stranger. Gravity still works, but inconsistently. The sun and moon hover above like glowing orbs, smaller than they should be, moving in...
Is this pro-Flat Earth or making fun of them? I guess we'll find out. Okay, this might actually just be someone's project. Guide to the algorithmic dimension. Escape the system before it erases you. Time loop survival guide. Okay. I think this is someone maybe just doing creative writing.
Dimensionica Radio.
So we're good. Good luck with that. It's relieving when you find out someone isn't crazy. This guy's apparently busking and talking about flat Earth to people if they choose to listen to him. Ever wondered how the myth of dragon got started? Dr. Richard Kent has a conspiracy. Oh boy. Thank you for the link. I'll take a look a little bit.
It's in the sand. You don't seem to have any other plans, and you have lost your charm. And it really shouldn't have to be this hard. You know it shouldn't have to be this hard. You know it should.
If anyone ends up showing up.
'Cause I don't need a leader. You shouldn't need a leader either. You shouldn't need a leader either. I leave time for you.
This really has the vibe that you're at a party and there's just like a really stoned guy with a guitar and you sat down near him. I kind of like it. You know what I mean? Kind of like people watching, but not with the anxiety of actually the people might talk to you.
Your parking meter. I might be eager, but I...
Props a lot. Thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships on YouTube. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That helps tremendously.
Ain't no fucking beaver.
Couldn't do the show without that, so thank you.
Put me to the test, please. I don't beat wives, but I wear wife beaters.
I don't beat wives, but I wear wife beaters is a lyric. That's a lyric. That's a lyric from a song. We did it. I don't beat wives, but I wear wife beaters. I'm assuming these are original songs.
I wonder what...
This is like that time I was at an electrolysis appointment and this guy walked up to my window and knocked on it and was like, hey, you want to buy a CD? And I said yes, and I bought his CD, and it was fucking hilarious. Track phones. The lyrics were like, for one of the songs, my favorite song on the album was track phones, more hose, something like that. He was rhyming track phone with hose, which, like, it wasn't good, but it was hilarious. Drops a lot with a $10 super chat, says, you're welcome, Hannah. To the audience, you got a membership. You got a membership. You got a membership. You're the Oprah of Hannah Reloaded. Well, I appreciate it muchly.
Been to my car stereo speakers. I know what else was like. You got to step down from your throne before you're thrown down from the steps. Yeah, that's what's... Wherever you are is where you'll be stuck. Yeah, when trucking.
I don't think he ever ends up talking about flat Earth. Hope he had a good time, though. See, what, do you have anything else on his channel that implies the existence of a Dr. Phil of Hannah Reloaded? It's Peter. It's Peter. If there was anyone who was the Dr. Phil to my Oprah, it's Peter.
Nope.
Scalix with 10 months at tier 2 on Twitch says, love to support. Well, thank you very much. Couldn't do it without you. Thank you.
Many years ago, when I stumbled down below, down into this rabbit hole. It was many years ago. And I never came out again.
Says Flat Earth on his guitar, by the way.
Fell down a rabbit hole, tangled in my soul.
Would Gina be Ellen? That's probably a appropriate comparison. Okay, let's get off of this guy. What else? I actually need to pee real quick, so I will be right back. Let me see what Cher's going to talk about while I'm gone. Cher will tell you about Liberty's Kids. Look, it's Liberty's Kids. We did it. We saved America. Well, and that's not closed. There we go. All right. Be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'm back.
With the conclusion of the 33rd Olympic Games in Paris, France.
Oh, this is old.
It's very obvious for those that have eyes to see what happened in the coils of the snake. With the conclusion of the 33rd Olympic Games in Paris, France, here is a serpent's head up here. With the conclusion of the 33rd Olympic Games.
Also, we've seen him before, so we shouldn't watch that. 24/7 Flat Earth Discord live. Yeah, for those who don't know, there's basically a live stream where people can go on and chat about Flat Earth all the time. So, that's fun.
Points in the sky.
Cher told us she likes when you sit on her. Of course she does. Everyone does. What are you talking about? My butt's like the only good part about me.
Okay. I know it's Sunday, so that's why I'm expressing this.
Honestly, I think the show would be more popular if you could just chop off the butt and remove the rest of me. I think the stream would do pretty well.
There are
anomalies.
gotcha.
Yeah,
there are anomalies. I mean, like right at the moment, Melbourne is getting highs like that beat New South Wales highs, and they're further south. It should be the other way around. So, because the sun's
I'm not tracking their live stream right now. Let's see. Check out this one.
This is the best flat Earth proof, and it's hiding in plain sight. Stick around. The finale will blow your mind. Think about it. We're told Earth spins at 1,000 miles per hour.
Again, that's not really how you measure angular rotation in terms of the spin of the Earth, which is what you're talking about. It revolves once per day, which is not very fast for the size of the planet. You're using linear velocity to describe it because it sounds like a big number. You can trick people into believing flat Earth.
Orbits the sun at 67,000 miles per hour, and nobody feels it. But when's the last time you saw a pilot adjust for curvature? Or a sniper account for Earth's spin? Crickets. And why can't
Snipers do have to account for curvature over a long enough period. I'm not sure about spin of the Earth, but the longest sniper shots in the world do require stuff like that. That's one of the reasons snipers have spotters, because they can help do math, believe it or not. There's a decent amount of math involved in actual long-distance sniping, because you do have to take a lot of different factors into account. Hydrate? Can do.
most people answer basic questions, like how fast we're moving or what the pole star's called? If the globe's so obvious, why is the math this fuzzy? Truth is, the flat Earth model cuts through the noise. Ancient sailors navigated using static stars, not a spinning ball.
Again, they're not static generally, they're static relative to our lifetimes. You can perceive parallax change in our lifetimes, it just requires instrumentation because from our perspective it's minute.
Sun acts like a spotlight, closer and smaller than they claim. No one.
This is just someone using AI to regurgitate the same old talking points. Oh my god, Will Duffy and Nathan Thompson did a fucking debate? Oh, Jesus.
Hello, this is Matt, this is Whatcast. Flat Earth...
I haven't heard from Nathan Thompson, like a long-form thing in a while.
A big and fun...
Didn't mean to cut to the end.
Concede any...
Very much, gentlemen. Floor is all yours.
Oh my god, it's modern day debate. Modern day debate fucking sucks.
Sure. Hey, Nathan, you just false in your opening statement. I'd like you to correct it. You said once you go flat, you never globe back. Would you please correct that right now?
No, yeah, when you go flat, as far as like testing the Earth yourself, I know you might have some flipper floppers that haven't tested the Earth themselves for 10 years, like I have. But once you do that, there's no way you're going to go back to believing you're on a cartoon ball because strangers went to Antarctica.
Jaron?
Hey, Nathan, I know you're personal friends with Jaron and Robbie, and I really don't think you should do this to them right now. Were they true flat earthers? Because they're not anymore.
We're looking at new stuff today. I will save this. I will save this. I will save this, and we'll watch this on the normal Tinfoil Tuesday. Supposed to be looking for new things right now. Sorry about that.
Why is flat Earth so important?
Whose music is this? Conspiracy theorists really have no respect for copyright. Fresh water is from flat Earth, salt water is from above and below.
When you were a kid, you probably learned all about the water cycle. Evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. You know the drill. Maybe you were an especially smart kid, and you started to think, this water must be pretty old. If it just keeps getting recycled by a closed system on Earth, there's a chance it was sipped by Alexander Hamilton and Alexander the Great. And at some point, maybe it was dinosaur pee, swirling around with...
wrapped up on the inside. We're water fearing.
Okay, so they just put annoying music over other people's videos and called it a day. By the way, this is my job. Most of it's just getting the really crappy conspiracy theorists out of the way so we can get to the entertaining ones. I apologize. Ooh, is this an AI person?
The flat Earth conspiracy has captivated minds for years.
Yep, that's a fake person. That's not a real person. A computer hallucinated this human being and they aren't real. This is not a real human being. A computer, we shot lightning through silicone and it made this fake person. Ashley 1UP says, conspiracy theorist gets copyright strike for music. They're silencing me for speaking the truth.
Challenging our understanding of science and reality. Proponents argue that the Earth is a flat disk, surrounded by an ice wall, claiming that photos of a round Earth are fabricated.
Phoenix says, are you real? God, I hope not. What a nightmare if I am.
They often cite the horizon appearing flat and the lack of visible curvature as evidence. But let's break it down. Gravity pulls everything toward the center, creating a spherical shape. The curvature is subtle, but it's there. Just look at ships disappearing hull first over the horizon. Plus, countless satellite images and space missions have confirmed our planet's roundness. So, while the flat Earth theory is intriguing, it ultimately falls short against centuries of scientific evidence.
Is this someone actually trying to use an AI thing to debunk Flat Earth? That's bizarre. You almost never see that. I think this is the first time I've ever seen someone use an AI video to try and say a conspiracy isn't true. That's weird. Phyllis Filler says if you're interested in hearing some real good faith debate, Intelligence Squared is a good radio show podcast. Thanks for the recommendation.
It's a fascinating example of how curiosity can sometimes lead us astray. The flat...
How strange. Fuck y'all. Let me go to this channel.
The Flat Earth conspiracy has captivated...
So curious. What else is this? Welcome to my channel. I make 3D videos explaining about space and our solar system and the universe. Listing all the facts you need to know. You are a space enthusiast. Please subscribe. So someone that was riddled with like typos and strange grammar things. So this might be made by a person or group of people where English isn't their first language, but they're just trying to put out a bunch of crappy AI videos. It's like a video farm. My guess. That's my guess. Let me make sure I save this debate for next time or another day.
How are you today?
Well, I'm pretty well. And you?
How's life in Italy? Is it cold over there?
Is it cold? Yes.
By the way, we're a little over halfway through the stream. If you like what you're seeing, consider following if you're on Twitch or subscribing on YouTube. If you want to help support the stream, consider subscribing on Twitch or gifting subs. Sorry, I got to do that stuff. I really
less cold at once. Now it is not that cold.
Alternatively, I could try and shill war thunder to you, but I'll choose not to.
Anymore.
We have had a lot of cold fronts here. There was snow on the weekend. Many places in Japan has been snowed in. So I was days before the sun was created. The sun has to move faster. It leaves daytime behind. So that's why you have 17, 18, 19 hours of daylight, sometimes even 24 hours, because the sun goes ahead, but leaves daytime behind. I don't know.
Wait, what? Okay, I went ahead too far. He's saying that the sun moves around, but it leaves light like it's a physical object?
That's right there, you know? So we don't depend on the sun. So those people think that because they see daytime in Antarctica, it's because the sun is out. It's not. It's because in that region, not only the daytime, and I like to show sometimes the yin-yang, because the yin-yang shows the sun and the moon rotating at the same speed. But
the yin-yang is a symbolic representation of the balance of good and evil, and how there's evil and good and evil, and both coexist in this sort of like... Not supposed to be the moon and the sun literally as a cosmological map.
What happens in Antarctica, and that's what I think happens. The sun is in sync with daytime, you know?
Okay,
but,
so he thinks that the sun isn't where light comes from. He thinks it just happens to go where the light is. Incorrect, but okay.
When in Antarctica, since the sun has to move faster, it leaves daytime behind.
Research said by non-researcher? Yeah.
So that's why you have 17, 18, 19 hours of daylight. Sometimes
alternatively, axial tilt. Axial tilt, maybe?
Even 24 hours. Because the sun goes ahead, but leaves daytime behind. I don't know if you can understand what I mean, because we don't need the sun. We have the day and the night, and the sun only was created in the fourth day. you know, but we have light without the sun, you know.
Yeah.
That's the noble gases.
So he thinks that the sky lights up because of noble gases like a neon sign. So if you don't know, when you look at a neon sign, the reason that it works is basically the tubes of neon signs are filled with a gas called neon. They're part of a row column, the up and down. On the periodic table to the furthest right, they're called noble gases. They're called noble gases because their valence electrons, they are completely filled, like their outer shell of electrons is entirely full. So it's not reactive, right? It doesn't want to react with things around it the way that a lot of other stuff will. Anyway, when you put this stuff in a tube, like neon, and apply an electric charge, it excites the gases and causes it to glow. So when you turn on a neon sign, it's literally the gas in the tube illuminating. It's cool, right? That's why it has a very particular look to it. He's saying that that's how the sky works and how daylight works. It's not. That doesn't make any sense based on how neon, like signs and other stuff like that works. Why would it stop at a certain place if you're saying it's just gases all within our atmosphere? Why would it only light some of those gases and not others? I don't know. This doesn't really make sense. He's really reaching for an explanation here.
Yes, I agree. The light has nothing to do with the sun. Actually, if you go into the north, they say that we have 6 months of...
Where's the electricity coming from? A lot of conspiracy theorists, in particular flat earthers that do not believe in gravity, instead adhere to what they call the electric universe hypothesis. And they believe that every force in the universe is some permutation of electromagnetic force. So they don't believe in gravity. They don't believe in the nuclear force, either weak or strong. They think everything is electromagnetic. So they would probably, if asked that, gesture towards, oh, electric universe, everything is electricity. Doesn't really make sense. It's not a specific falsifiable answer, but it's enough for a conspiracy, so...
darkness, it is not true. You have some hours of light, not sun, but light, because light has nothing to do with the sun. The sun and light are two complementary things, but are not the same thing. This friend of mine, whose name is Agostino Favari, from Sicily, he came to the conclusion that the TFI was a real experiment because he is in contact with some cousin with an Italian cook working in the...
One sec, I'm going to save this channel. I think we've seen this before, but I don't think I saved him, so I'm going to make sure he is saved for the future. Or maybe this is actually a channel that just does different pulling flat earth from other people, maybe? Oh, sheeple on the bingo card.
You know what's crazy about SpaceX? Well, it's being celebrated that they just flew 870 miles into space.
Stop using the AI overview. You know how many times that thing spits out bad information? Most of the time, in my experience.
You know, which was incredible and amazing, right? But almost 60 years ago, 50 some odd years ago, we were on the moon, which is complete with the dune buggy thing and excursion, and they had less computing.
The moon buggy wasn't until, was it the second or third moon mission? He's doing a picture, I think, of Apollo 11, but they didn't have the buggy on that first one. That was in the subsequent returns to the moon.
Power than they do today. And the moon is almost 240,000 miles away.
Yes, that was done by the government The reason that they're talking about it from SpaceX's perspective is because A, they're a private company, not a government, and B, because they're doing so with very different technology, with more modern technology and boosters that are reusable. Now, I don't like Elon. You guys know my opinion on Elon. I'm not going to go into it. I don't like the privatization of space stuff. Not a fan of privatization in general. But to not understand why people claim this as an achievement is to be obtuse. Intentionally so.
Way. So, do you see the issue here?
So, isn't that so serious?
Anonymous, thanks for tipping $50. That gets us another song from the puppet. Oh my god. We're almost at 1,300, and every 50 over the 1,000 goal is another puppet song. So that's almost 6 extra puppet songs? Jesus Christ. Thank you.
We don't even have a real picture of the globe that they say that we live on, but now we have a telescope that's 1 million miles away from us that can actually see up to 15 billion light years away. Well, this is why I have a problem, and I have a huge problem with that. You can't even give us, again, you cannot give us a real picture of the globe that we live on.
There are real pictures of the Earth. There are absolutely real pictures of the Earth. When you are shown them, flat earthers always say they're fake. It doesn't matter. People stop giving a shit and wanting to show you them, because whenever they do, you just say they're CGI. So you can't expect people to keep in perpetuity showing you the same real pictures of the Earth and having idiots be like, oh no, that's CGI. Yeah, people aren't going to deal with you. You're basically a troll at that point, whether you intend to or not. You're sea lioning.
NASA has admitted over a few times that you can go to by yourself and go read about it, YouTube, listen about it. They have said multiple times, on multiple occasions, that the globe image that they give you is not real, that they have created.
Sea lioning is a rhetorical tactic in which you ask questions to waste the time of someone without actually, in good faith, expecting answers back that you are going to consider reasonably. You're asking questions, basically, just to waste their time and fuck with them. You don't actually want the answer or to engage in a good faith discussion. You want them to say something or waste their time so you can argue back.
This image for you. So, if we can't see the own place that we live on, the globe that they say, how can we see up to 15 billion light years away? No.
So frustrated. So frustrated by the amount of ignorance. The proud ignorance, too. They're so proud of it.
Hey, guys.
Ugh. All right, let's move on. Why was there Snoop Dogg smoking a blunt in that?
Once and for all, the Earth is flat.
Not the voice I was expecting, if I'm being honest, but okay.
And no, it's not a joke. Some people do think that...
My purpose is to provide helpful and harmless information. Promoting misinformation, such as the flat Earth theory, goes against that core principle.
Is this a shit post? Is this like a YouTube poop?
The Earth being a sphere is not a matter of debate. It is a scientific fact, supported by overwhelming evidence from various fields like observation. We have direct observations of Earth's curvature from space, airplanes, and even high-altitude balloons.
Any new conspiracies about artificial diseases or RFID chips? We don't cover them a lot? That's a good question. I'm gonna avoid the diseases thing because, well, frankly, YouTube doesn't like coverage of that kind of stuff, even when you're debunking it. But let's try RFID chips. I'll try on Rumble, too, and see if we get any really kooky stuff. Oh, wow, there's a video called 9/11, the feel-good story. Rumble is always something. Always something. Try YouTube. Some of these are just going to be tech things, obviously, but I can probably find some kind of thing. Secret? What if I append secret? Ooh, here's one. No! I don't speak other languages, god damn it. Here's one.
The latest breakthroughs contained in some
convenience, right? And in town, and everybody.
Microchip.
The world is about to soon find out the Bible isn't a storybook. The world is about to soon find out the Bible isn't just a storybook. And why is that?
Wisdom on the bingo card?
Because everything written in the Bible is happening, which is prophecy. And prophecy simply means to say something before it happens. And the Bible is the only book in the earth that exemplifies that. In other words, things that are written in the Bible is taking place in real time. It is happening in real time. And the clip you just saw where the RFID microchip is being promoted as the best new thing in town, and everybody will be required to get this device implanted inside your hand or in your forehead. And the technology to do so is already here. The infrastructure has already been built. All it takes now is the right set of crises, or the right set of event that would trigger the push for this chip that will be embedded inside of you, be it in your head or in your hand or both. Right? Just that right event. Just like the way they pushed the juicy juice, all they needed was a right event so that the juice can be pushed for everybody to get their arm candy.
I haven't Spokane Dogman.
Right? The Band-Aid. All it takes is that major event. And we're seeing it playing out in the world stage. And they will push this thing as convenience, right? It is good for your health. Your doctor don't even need to ask you about your record. All they got to do is go through the data in your chip and they will know everything about you, right? It will be easy for you to buy.
Is he aware that medical records already exist?
And sell with this thing, right? You can do whatever it is, right? The way they will push it to you, that convenience. You don't have to have car keys. Now you have the electronic cars, right? The electric cars. And these electric cars, they're moving you towards, all you got to do is use your microchip, wave it around, and
you don't even have to wave things around. For like modern cars, usually, like if you have a key fob for like a modern car, usually it's just a proximity thing. It'll be in your purse or in your pocket, and the car will turn on just if you have the key. So you don't need to inject something into you. You can just, have the key in your purse or whatever.
the car will start up. You see, even where you work, you will need the chip as a form of identification, which ties into the digital identity. You see, even for you to use the internet, you will be required to have a digital identity, which would tie in.
The long-winded Mark of the Beast reference, it is. We can move on, because that is literally just the Mark of the Beast thing, though, frankly, most RFID chip things are going to be. AI.
Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into a topic that has stirred debate across the globe. Are RFID chips the mark of the beast, as described in the Book of Revelation? Let's explore this controversial subject with facts, history, and some illustrations. Stick around. First, let's set the stage with what the Bible says. The Book of Revelation is one of the most intriguing and mysterious books in the Bible. It
That's certainly a way to put it.
is filled with vivid imagery and prophetic visions that have fascinated readers for centuries. In Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 to 17, it's described that all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their forehead, so that no one can buy or sell unless he has the mark. This passage has sparked countless interpretations and debates among theologians and scholars. Some believe it to be a literal mark, while others see it as a symbolic representation of allegiance or control. The idea of a mark
Why did he use a picture of henna there?
Dictates one's
That was a picture of a henna tattoo after it was been applied.
ability to participate in commerce has led to various theories about its modern-day implications. Could it be a microchip, a digital ID, or something else entirely? The possibilities are endless, and often reflect the technological advancements of the time. This has led many to speculate about what this mark could be. As we delve deeper into the text, we will explore these theories and their potential impact on our understanding of Revelation.
Hope it's good,
Stay
Jay's a
tuned
proxy.
as we uncover the layers of meaning behind this enigmatic prophecy.
I think that's enough of that. I'm so tired of the AI. Part of the reason the biggest reason I'm into conspiracy theory is the interesting personalities of the people who believe them. We're removing the interesting thing from conspiracies. Everything's cold and dead and hollow inside. Gonna go over the bingo card, sure. Take a look. Let's see. Ancient wisdom, flat earth, it's AI. Believes they speak to aliens regularly. You'll have to remind me for a lot of these. Accidentally based, mentioned beyond our own. Tracking microchip implants. Hannah mentions Blu-rays, word salad. 9/11 out of nowhere. Aliens are demons. The Matrix. What else? What else? Were the Illuminati mentioned? I don't recall. We definitely had my research said by a non-researcher. Wherever that one is. Tartaria. Past lives. Forgot about that one. We did have aliens, did it? Mark of the Beast. Wow, I'm missing a lot today. Did we get 35? I don't know. I don't recall Satanic coming up, but it's possible. One of the Tartaria folks mentioned Illuminati. Fuck it, we'll go with Illuminati. Vibes-based conspiracy. Yeah. My research said by a non-researcher. All right. I think that does it. Let's see what's next. Live channeling. I have not, Jesus
Diesen
Christ.
Abend. Mit sehr hohen Frequenzen abzuschließen.
Damn it, I hate when aliens speak a different language than me. But this guy. No? Is channeling just big in Germany? Because I'm seeing a bunch of German channelers.
A movie scene somewhere, they take a piece of paper, probably a cartoon, and they'll fold it into pieces and they'll cut what they are going to make as a snowflakes, and they'll go and they shoot out the paper, and then that forms this beautiful design. And a lot of times in comedy I see is that'll be a person's face, even though it's not symmetrical like a snowflake. But what this is saying is that we have the ability to create what we want to see from our...
Is live channel different? Is live channeling different to dead channeling? Is it who you're talking to? They mean live as in it was a live stream.
Own actions. So when you think and you do things, be aware that you're creating your own paper snowflake. But when you shake it out, it can be the scene that you really envision. So if you're looking...
That's very word salad. Giving me nothing. There's nothing left to give. Doon, 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 doon. In the daylight. Bow, bow, when the night's right.
Hi, everyone. It is February 22nd, 2025, and I have a message from the High Realms for you all today. If you don't know me, by the way, I'm Mel. I channel messages, I read energy, I remote view, and do all sorts of things. If you're interested in a personal reading or anything else, please feel free to check the link tree in the...
One of these times, if I had extra money, I really want to pay one of these people sometimes to do a reading of me and see just how much random nonsense bullshit I can get them to say. Like, I'll be like, I'm really trying to get pregnant. Is it going to happen to me? And see if they'll... I want to see if I can get one of them to say I'm going to get pregnant. I'd put on a better voice for it, for the record. I'm capable.
in the description below. That said, let's see who's coming through for us today, okay? We wish to elaborate on the need for revelation. Revelation.
Could I give you an example of the voice? No, I'd be embarrassed.
Is necessary to bring in the new era.
Let's just say I'm out of practice with my less masculine voice.
The new time. This revelation is not only a revelation of otherworldly existence,
Make that a
As
sub
we have
goal
been-
whenever I do another subathon. I don't think I'm ever going to do another subathon again. I don't have enough viewership or gift subby people for it. It would just be Nemesaur gifting subs for 2 days straight. And I think we rely on Nemesaur too much. And by we, I mean me. I love Nemesaur, but also, like, pretty fucked if Nemesaur ever decides that they don't like me anymore. You know? Not very stable. Real stressed out about it, honestly.
alluding to. But it also includes revelation of worldly matters. Worldly matters which many do not yet understand. There is no one without the other, meaning worldly matters and other worldly matters are closely connected. They are tied.
You're sorry, you're poor. It's not your fault. It's my own fault. I ruined my fucking life. That's on me.
In this new era, in this new time, you are approaching. It is very important that you do not hold on to old beliefs, no matter what they may be, for these beliefs will be challenged. And we do not only speak of those who are not aware of.
This one's boring.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Tara Arnold.
This is called Slow Down Your Aging Process, channeled message.
And tonight I'm going to be channeling Ascended Master Saint Germain and the Ascended Masters, and they're going to be talking about the aging process. So we've had this question a few times where people ask, can we slow down the aging process? So we will see what he has to say, and I've also asked them to bring through any light code frequencies that can help us to accept or slow down the aging process. So if you're open to receiving that, they will be coming through my chakras as I'm channeling. The Ascended Masters will bring through light code frequencies through my chakras to you. All you have to do is say you're open to receiving. Some people feel it similar to how you'd feel Reiki. I just want to mention that there is a live group channeling event that we're having at the end
Bell Twin, thanks for becoming a member on YouTube.
of this month, and I will put the details in the description below. It's via Zoom, Saturday, September 28th at 2 p.m. If you can't make it, we do email out the recording, so you can still sign up. And I'm going to get started. Thanks for joining us today, and we will see you at the end. Oh yes, welcome. I'm Saint Germain. We welcome you all. We are showing our channel that many of you are...
I'm sorry, she's Saint Germain? The Catholic saint. Okay.
In resistance of aging. You are looking at your face in the mirror or your bodies and saying...
I say, since the Pope's on his deathbed, we, and by we, I mean the conclave, elect this saint as the new Pope, and they just have this lady channel him.
I do not like this aging process. Could I slow down the aging process? We would say it is about accepting the aging process. If you are in resistance of aging, then it will appear to you that you are aging faster. It is accepting and fully surrendering to the aging process, which will, in your perception, you will see yourself as younger when you look in the mirror. And when you see yourself as younger, this energy projects in front of you and others will see you as younger. It is all a perception. You are projecting your hologram of yourself in front of you at all times, and it is reflecting back to you. So as you put out the energy and the resistance of aging, others around you see you as aging faster. To slow down the aging process, one must be fully surrendering to the aging process. One must not be in resistance of it.
Did you miss anything good? There's been some hit or miss stuff today. That's what you get when you're looking for new tinfoil people. Sometimes you get hits, Sometimes you get
genetically
just weird shit. We've
engineered
gotten
the
some
human
weird shit.
being. Yes, we're all genetically engineered. We should say 23 different civilizations have impacted our DNA over the last 100 million years.
Okay, this is feeling like it might be something.
We're going to have the first wave of ascension where a large number, maybe millions of human beings are going to move into the fifth dimension, essentially.
Is awakening available for all?
I don't want to live in the fifth dimension. It's got windows and doors and eyeballs just floating around. I don't know how people deal with it.
All of us, or perhaps not.
It is, absolutely it is, but that doesn't mean everybody will awaken. In fact, getting back to the prophecy, 3/4 of humanity probably will not wake up during this cycle.
Saul, Raquel, a warm welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I found this. Apparently, Saint Germain can live many lives, including as a priest of Atlantis and Christopher Columbus. About the ascended master Saint Germain. Okay, so he's like a common crackpot thing. Saving that. See, we're getting some stuff. We're getting some new people.
It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm really excited to be speaking with you today. I was recommended to connect with you by Mike Dooley, who has written this amazing book about what's coming, to humanity. And I know you know a lot about this because you are the author of Earth Awakens, Prophecy 2012 to 2030. Excited to learn more about that. And you have a background within Silva Mind Control. You have written numerous books, and you are quite the pioneer within the personal development field. And you also channel and you work with...
How are you a pioneer in the personal development field? You just say, hey, do better. You can do better. There we go. I'm a pioneer.
Guides the founders. So we'll see where we end up today. But for those who
By the way, I gotta leave in like 15 minutes, chat. I'm sorry, I gotta cut it a little short today. I gotta go pick up Baja from work.
New to you, Sal, could you share a little bit how you started on the spiritual journey?
Well, if we exclude past lives, because I do believe we come in with a certain amount of knowledge already present within us.
We already had reincarnation on the bingo card, I think, but if not reincarnation.
In this life, it was in
His book is $191 on Amazon. I gotta start grifting people. I'm in the wrong fucking business.
Mid-1970s when I started on my path officially, and that's when I took the Silva method the first time. And I was always interested in psychic phenomena, and I started developing my psychic clairvoyant abilities in the 70s. I was working in the Silicon...
It definitely wasn't all the drugs, as we know. No one did drugs in the 70s or 60s or 80s.
Valley of California as a computer technician. And I started attending evening metaphysical groups, meditation groups. There was a channeling group where they were channeling what they called the Space Brothers, which later became Galactic Federation. And that was when I started putting the pieces...
Ashley with 50 bets says, if you enjoyed the stream, don't forget to like, subscribe, and buy gold.
of the puzzle together. I would sit outside in my balcony looking out over the valley, and I'd be getting all these downloads of energy from higher realms.
I know. Smoo is great. I miss Smoo.
They were showing me the future of the earth and my future as a spiritual being. And so that was kind of how it got started. And then I got involved in various forms of meditation, including rebirthing, a conscious breathing yoga, and many other disciplines along the way. I moved out of the Silicon Valley, moved to a spiritual community in a place called Santa Cruz. For a couple of years I was there, and then I was also in a place...
My favorite spiritual community, Santa Cruz.
Up in the mountains, a spiritual retreat center for a while. I was reading tarot cards and developing my psychic abilities. Eventually, I stopped reading the cards and just started doing direct readings with people, tuning into their souls and reading various aspects of their mission and purpose and so on, and including healing, of course. And I did learn Reiki and a few other healing modalities as well.
Healing modalities. Stop trying to use words just to make yourself sound smarter than you are. Fucking healing modalities.
Then
Eat my asshole.
in the 1990s,
I learned a variety of, including Reiki, healing modalities. Just say you found different bullshit ways to claim you're healing people. Oh, a little Reiki, a little psychic surgery, a little bit of bullshit here, a little bit of flim-flam there. Fucking asshole.
My spirit guide Leah came to me, and I started working with the Arcturians and the founders. And in the 2000s, I started officially channeling.
Will Kale with a 7-stream streak says, the only fifth dimension I want to be in is where there's lots of snacks, movies, and video games.
And I channeled my books. They were a collaboration between my own higher self and the various spirit guides that I was working with at the time, which are still
Just say you wrote the book. Just say you wrote the book. Just say you wrote the book.
Same spirit guides I work with now. I only have a few select groups that I work with. I don't believe in spreading myself too thin and having too many different entities coming through. So I work with Leah, I work with the Arcturians, I work with Lord Sananda, and then the founders. And I developed the technique of timeline healing about 50
Challenge with a €10 super chat says, thanks for all the entertaining streams. No problem. Thanks for the tip and thanks for watching.
years ago, and it's now all over the
I'm sorry I'm in such a mood today, by the way. I'm having a really bad day. And it's this thing where it's like, I know that I'm not going to be entertaining, but also it's my job, and you can't just not show up to work because you feel bad, but it's like, but my job is entertaining people, and it's certainly going to leak through that I feel like crap. So I don't really know what to do. So I try and kind of make a joke out of it. But I don't know. Maybe that's just annoying and difficult to listen to. Nemesaur, thanks for gifting 10 tier 1 subs. I really appreciate it.
planet in 30 or more countries.
Sometimes the crippling depression is just like real crippling, you know?
And it's a powerful form of therapy where we time travel back in time and give our past selves a healing.
Okay, we're time traveling now. Even she looks like she thinks this is bullshit. Look at that face. That's a face of a lady who's heard so much bullshit, and even she's going, nah, I don't think that's true.
And so I'm doing trainings in different parts of the world every year.
Wow, amazing. You're doing quite a lot. Now, I get curious when you say that you received these downloads and you saw the future. Was that when you, what was the book Earth Awakens inspired by that? Did you see the future and the time, what was going to happen between 2012 and 2030? And what did you see?
Well, there's a plus and a minus here. The plus is that most of what I see does come to pass. What I'm doing is reading the consciousness of humanity and then seeing what that consciousness is creating. And it's fairly accurate when you do that. The part that's kind of the minus is that time is really a function of free will. And
The sentence, time is a function of free will, is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard in my life. What does that mean? Time is a function of free will? Doesn't mean anything. Words have meanings, damn it! You can't just say them in random orders and expect it to mean something.
And almost
Are we fucking German? That's not how this works.
Every prophet and seer has gotten the timing wrong on things. Now, my guide said around the year 2020, the population was going to peak at somewhere between 8 and 9 billion people, and it was actually going to start dropping after that. And they gave detailed reasons why the population was going to start to drop after around 2020. They predicted that we would have this ascension where the most evolved humans would go into the next level of evolution, which I call the etheric crystal light body. And that
Okay, I'm saving this. I'm saving this channel. It's a little like dry, but like the stuff that's in there is good. I'm down with this. I'm down with this.
That was going to be happening starting around 2012 and maybe culminating around the year 2030. And again, the timing was off a little bit, and they were humble and explained very clearly that they underestimated the power of the negatively polarized human beings.
Oh no, I hope I'm not negatively polarized. I hope I have a neutral charge.
And that the negatively polarized human beings, which I've been saying for a long time, is about 3 out of 4 humans, about 75%.
We need to reverse the polarity of the neutron flow, stat.
Of the population is predominantly negative in their thinking. And I give an example. I say you're in a city and there's apartment buildings on all sides, and the person across the street in the apartment is worrying about their finances. The person on the left of you is worrying about their child who's on drugs. The person on the right is worried about their health. The person on the other side is marveling at their beautiful garden and giving thanks for another wonderful day. That's 1 out of 4 people thinking positively.
Man, sounds like a lot of their lives suck. Material conditions are important or something. Okay. I do have to get going because I do have to go pick up Baja, like I said. I apologize for the little bit shorter stream today. I do have electrolysis tomorrow, so I'm probably not streaming tomorrow. I'll try because there's fewer days in the month and I really need to. But if I don't see you, I will see you Tuesday, and we'll be doing probably a longer Tinfoil Tuesday. Let's see who we're gonna raid. Who we gonna raid? Who we gonna raid? Let's see who we're gonna raid. Who are we gonna raid?
Oh. Yeah, we do.
Cooker 28's doing stuff. That's thematically appropriate. Alright, have a good night. See you guys later. Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes. And all that stuff. Alright. Bye, everyone.